Coming up on this week's Retro Robin Show, we can have a bit of a Christmas reveal as we have a look at a couple of Christmassy type games, and we'll go to December of this particular Crash magazine where we do some more reviews. Not only that, we'll be having a look at a great Commodore game that I found on a power tape, so I thought I'd give it a bit of a play and see what you think of it today. So if you love a bit of retro gaming fun for this retro gaming weekend, a Christmas weekend, festive greetings to you all, why not join me, Wayne, and of course Emo, my air robot there, for a little bit of 8-bit gaming fun. Emo! Oh bless you. Happy Christmas all. And welcome to the last in the year of the Retro Robin Show with me, Wayne, and of course I nearly said it the other way around, Emo there, my AI dancing robot. Well, we're going to have a look at a couple of festive games, a couple of new games, all good stuff. We're going to go for some re-reviews from Crash, the usual stuff on the Retro Robin Show, and we're even going to have a look at the Commodore game that I've spotted that I'd like to give a review to. Yeah, to keep the Commodore massive out there happy. Indeed they do. What's been going on so far in Retro Robin's? Well, mainly repairs and work. You know, it's that time of year when I'm extremely busy. Big shout out to Babs Arcade who had me on the show again, and the show's gone down quite well. Please remember to subscribe to his up and coming channel that's been going on for 2 years, but it's getting better. I love the way he puts his clips in and his editing is pretty damn good, to be fair. Also, just to let you know, today I'm using only 2 computers for sound, the Harlequin and the Plus 3 with a sound fix that was fixed by Mutant Caterpillar. Yes, Ian from all the way up in Aberystwyth, believe it or not. He does a loads of Spectrum repairs and great stuff there. Big thank you to Richard Hollins, who's helped me get the timing and the starting right. He's even added a little bit of graphics there. Go Emo, you dance. Oh, Crash, can't beat it. I hope that's the right way around for you. Normally it's backwards, because the front camera doesn't read what the back camera reads. As always, if you like today's show, please remember to hit the thumbs up for me. It means a lot to me, you know. I'm only a young lad. Like, share, and subscribe. More importantly, subscribe. The more subscribers I get, the more I feel like I can keep this going, and I'm bringing you some interesting content and hopefully reaching out to people who haven't seen some of the latest Spectrum games, where they're sort of featured on this show with me giving them a little review. But that's it. Let's have a look at today's first new game. So, the first game I'm bringing you today is in actual fact a demo play, which is available for download. Hopefully the game itself will be available to play soon. All I can tell you about it is the guy that brought you the great game Triangle, Circle, Square brought you this. And I've decided to show you it loading via the loading screen, because the loading screen itself is really well done. With a band of colours at the top, both in bright and the normal standard Spectrum colours, representing a bit of shading. Looks like a ghost with large feet carrying a moose's head on it. The graphics of this actual loading screen, we'll take a look around, shall we? Just enlarge it a little bit. Just look how sinister the eyes are. It's in the eyes, even the ghostly eyes in the background. But as loading screens come, you don't get much better than that, do you? I think that is an absolutely fantastic loading screen. In the meantime, the sound of the music there, provided by the Harlequin, not the Plus 3 yet, is of course from the hair-raising adventures of Mr. Hare, which has got a great AY tune in it. So the guy that brought you Triangle, Circle, Square, which was a great game involving a triangle, circle and a square, has turned his hand to this. And judging by the loading screen, we're in for a bit of a treat. Now, a lot of games can have great loading screens but not live up to the expectations, but it does actually get you, shall we say, anticipating the actual game itself. But this guy is fairly new to the Spectrum in Spectrum terms in the last decade. He's sort of got into the games, and he's creating it from a new point of view, a new perspective. The game is loaded. So this game does have AI sound in it. So what we'll do in a minute, we will turn down the AI sound in the background. You've got your usual Sinclair keyboard or Kempson. In this case, I'll be using the Kempson. It's a case of left, right, fire, and up is for jump. You will need to use the down on your Kempson joystick. As you can see, it's a demo and soon to be available. We're going to have a look at this game now, and what we need to do first of all is turn that music down in the background, because this will have actual AY tune in it. So this sort of ghost with a moose's head on it reminds me a little bit of the game where you took the moose's head to destroy your enemy. In the meantime, you can kick, but you can actually fire at certain particular parts of the game. Nice little bit of animation of his feet moving up and down, his head bobbling backwards and forwards. That makes his, and of course his nose is sort of going up and down. I'm glad mine doesn't do that. You can see you've got 3 lives, but with 3 hearts to each one of those lives. Nice graphical effect at the top there, with the big clouds moving slightly faster than the smaller clouds behind. However, you don't get all the clouds in every scene because you go underneath. Yeah, just kick things out of the way. And see how that thing seemed to throw his head, well, lost to be his head at you. So we've got a nice moving platforming game. And as always, there's the colour clash there, he's just rolling with it, shall we say, just letting it happen. He's not worried about it, but it doesn't take anything away from the actual gameplay itself. It's got that usual horrible jump mechanic where you can move in the air. I don't like that in games myself. I like it when you jump you have to commit. You know what I mean? Maybe you can stop yourself a little bit or have a shorter or longer jump. And I've seemed to navigated those quite well. You have to kick quite early with this. I just jump over that one. Now that heart will give you back some of your energy if you've lost some hearts, but in this case I haven't, so it almost seems pointless collecting it, doesn't it? But you know, there will be times where you will need to collect the heart. This is just a case of jumping over them. You can bounce off those sort of heads, you know what I mean? Now once you get these, see those 5 little stars there, they're like bullets, and you've got a certain amount of time to use them, and it will help you perceiving certain levels, but you've only got a certain amount of time, so you need to use them pretty quickly. For instance, there was a good use of the bullets. Oh, I got lucky there when I bounced off his head a couple of times. So everything's going according to a good plan, except till now. But we'll wait till that goes and hopefully kick that guy out of the way. Screens at the start of the game, fairly easy to navigate through. They're all nice. I don't know whether that looks like Roland Rat myself, to be quite honest with you. Remember that Roland Rat? Right, there's an edge that you won't be able to make a big jump across. You will automatically go down. And here comes our first, well, sort of mini boss fight. This platform is scrolling, and what you need to do here is you need to kick the ball and hit his eye, and without losing any energy. I think you have to do it to number about 3 to maybe 4 times. I think it's 3 times. There you go. I've lost a heart, so I may have actually, yeah. In doing so, I may have lost a heart, but I've managed to complete the level, so we can move through the screens. Oh, I like that effect. The stalactites at the top of the screen scrolling slightly faster than what seems to be stalactites at the bottom of the screen. Got to kick the skater out of the way before he runs into you. So just timing is really required here. Basically, you've got to press it as soon as you see him moving fast, to be fair. What I like about the game is the variation of level design. You've got the platformer, and then all of a sudden you'll change. Now you're going to be going, so we say, vertical. So you've been going horizontal, and now you've got to go vertical. And just survive anything that comes in your direction. Make sure you kick early. I've still got all three hearts because I must have... saying that, as soon as I said that, look what happens. I lost a life. I lost 2 now. Will I make it to the top one more time? I think I've only got a couple more to survive. Yeah. See how it did a double shimmy there? I can catch you out. In the meantime, it looks like we've survived that, and we'll be coming across our second sort of boss fight in a minute. There'll be a little bit of text on that. I like the graphics, the head and fish. There's a little boat at the top there going across quite well. Nice little small graphic, isn't it, that? And this can be quite challenging. Remember, this is only the demo of the first real level. So imagine what the entire game has got to be like. There's already a lot of variation into it. Change of AY music there as soon as the game started. And basically you've got to survive his attack with using these, well, what looks to be skating, well, I can only think they look like little pterodactyls or something, don't they look like little monsters? Skeleton Captain. And that's what you need to get. You need to get that. When he throws them, you can actually fire at him and... There you go, I managed to... Oh, and because I only had 1 life left, I ended up losing my life pretty early there. So, but I've got a full set of hearts now, so hopefully we can get past this one, and then we can give this game a full review. But from what I've seen so far, it's pretty good. One more go, and if I don't do it in this time, then you know, it'll give you something to give a go at. Right, we've got all of a minute before I have to end the one. Oh no, I've lost a heart, but it doesn't matter. You got 3 and 3 lives in order to do. I've lost 2 hearts. This is not good. So you have to do it quite early and time it quite well. Oh, he's blocked me. It's not a number of bullets you got. It's just a number of times you got to hit the. Oh, and there we go. So what do I think of the game? Well, I think it's absolutely brilliant, to be fair. It's a great little platformer. There's so much variation in the game itself that if this is only the first level, and it's hard to give it a rating just yet, but it's going to be a game worth getting, and if it's anything like Triangle, Circle, Square, it's going to be a great play. Unlike Triangle, Circle, Square, you've only got a number of lives in this. In Triangle, Circle, Square, which was his previous game before this, you had a number of lives. First, I'd say first views, 9 out of 10. To be honest, it's great AY spooky music in the background as well. So, tell me what you think. Remember, as always, leave your comments in the comments below. Let's move on to something a little bit more festive. Next game is 128k music. We had a brief look at the loading screen. I need to have a look at that loading screen, to be fair. We've got to judge it from the first one, which was absolutely awesome. Hopefully we'll get a better look at it. There we go. Oh, lots going on there. Definitely very nice, very Christmassy, very colourful. And then we open with a fantastic Christmassy feeling Type AY. Percy Penguin. Usual, oh yeah, Q, W and space to jump. I could do this one-handed, so why not? I think I'll use keys on this occasion. Just listen to the AY tune a little bit. Reasonable, normal text presentation screen going on there. Nice little, something about red and green, you know, does kind of holly, isn't it, Christmassy. So yeah, it's got that feel about it. Nice tune change. That's a really good AY tune, isn't it? That, unfortunately, is one I won't use throughout the year, but for Christmas, it's very jolly, very pick-me-uppy. I like it. Pick-me-uppy, is that even a word? Oh, well, it is now on the Retro Robin Show. I've coined a new phrase. Pick-me-uppy. And it's, yet again, it's gone up in tone, so it's quite a long loop of an AY. Tune alone, you've got to give that a 9 out of 10, haven't you, just for the tune alone. But let's have a look at the actual game itself. So we're going to press 1 to pray. Oh, fantastic opening tune as well for the level itself. This is a tough game, and I I will tell you it is a tough game. Because there's a certain way you have to go around doing this in order to complete it. They do say that the first few screens are quite difficult, and he didn't mess about with that one, did he? He certainly is right, so I'm going to go down. There isn't a time limit on it, so you can just take your time, but stalactites and those like bushy things there that you usually see on Manic Miner kind of deadly, and that's kind of deadly too, so once that happens you have to go back to a previous screen in order to make the jump, because what will happen there is you'll just end up falling down before you're able to have time to react with the jump. But just turn that music down a little bit. You've got plenty of lives. There we go. So why did I make a mistake? Once you've collected an item, in all fairness, they stay collected. There we go. A little bit of there we go. See, you just drop straight down. A little bit thing that spoils it is as soon as you enter the other screen, the music starts again. Now, you could like that, but I don't know if I do like it. It just keeps that intensity of starting that AY music again. I'm a bit undecided. But the guy did say that the first few screens are going to be really hard. And indeed, he wasn't mistaken, was he? Now, so this is where I've made my mistake, because I'm going the wrong way about it. I'm trying to go across and up, but there's too many obstacles in the way that way, so what we've got to do is basically go downhill before we can go up. And there we go, that's that item collected. Hopefully we can move on to the next level. If I walk into that, I may die. Will I die? Maybe not. Okay, I'm okay there. Oh, this one looks a bit more tricky, doesn't it? A bit of careful timing is required here. Oh. Did you see the way the bird just died on me? It just lays on its back. Like roadkill, isn't it? Oh, jumped too early. Oh. I need full concentration here. I'm losing my lives rapidly. Oh. Turning back, I know I can do this, so I don't know if I should time it to... Yes, I know I could do that. Strict drop down. Now I can't jump up there, so what I have to do here is get on that top platform and do a big jump. That will take some doing, to be fair. You have to wait till I'm both coming down, but the first bird has to be ahead of the second bird. So I think not yet. That would have been the one, wouldn't it? That would have been the one. Wait, patience is a virtue. No, okay, it wasn't then. Graphics are fairly basic, aren't they? But obviously anything that's flickering lots of colours, you know that you need to collect. I think this is the time. Yes. Oh no, I just about made it but then didn't. That makes any sense? Well, nothing makes any sense on the Retro Robin Show. Let's try timing this a little bit better. Oh no, I walked into it. I can get past this section, I have done it before now. However, I'm down to the last life. This is where it becomes really challenging. Doing it live with one life. Can it be done? Will Retro Robin succeed today? Probably not, but you know, hey ho, that's the way it goes. Yes! One life, the challenge is complete. Now somehow, I've got to jump onto that platform over there, so it's got to be a leap of faith now. Yes. Yes, I can land on the green one. But I can't land up there, so it's a case of dropping down. And we're back to where we started. Oh, I landed on top of him. Oh, I've got a life left. I miscalculated the amount of times I could get through this. Right, animation wise, the penguin, not too bad. A couple of little animations there, not a lot. Sometimes it does look like he's just sliding. Notably, the AY tune doesn't start between this screen and this screen again, but only the first screen. So whether that's a bug or something that's missed, I don't know. But generally speaking, the game itself I quite like. I really do enjoy playing it. It's probably because it's so difficult and you die early that you want to get into it. But as said, once you get through those first few harder screens, it does seem to get a little bit easier. Unfortunately, I'm unable to show you here. So what do I think? Well, graphically it does what it needs to do. It's really quite nice. AY sound is really nice indeed, and definitely not a repetitive AY tune. Gives it a great atmosphere. AY tune during the game can actually change a few times, so be aware you're not stuck with the same old tune. Excellent. Great game. Definitely great game. Ratings out of 10? Well, 8.5 out of 10 from Retro Robins. Why not give it a play? I'll try and get some links in below so you can decide for yourself. But it's worth playing, and it's amazing what they're bringing out. Always towards Christmas. So, yeah, definitely. That gets a thumbs up from Retro Robins. Next one then, let's move on quickly. What do you say, Emo? Just give me a blink. Loading screen is exactly what you see here. It loads and then it just puts that graphical block in there. Starting Crispy. Obviously, looks like a teddy bear. A nice graphical looking teddy bear. First thing I notice is you get the option on this particular game to redefine the keys. Well, it's champion. I always like it when they give you the option to redefine the keys. Mainly graphics, the only colour you see on the screen really, a bit of blue, the 1 to 8K and Crispy itself is in colour, but it's the two shades of blue, bright and dark blue. The artistic graphic is good, you get the chance to redefine your keys, as I said, it's great. You've got the Kenston, Sinclair and keyboard option. We're going to go to redefine, and I've got to remember rightly, I've got a opposite version of it. Let's hopefully I've got the keys in the right order. So in the English version, that will be obviously in English. Just tells you you've got to escape. So you're this bouncy little character here, which on the loading screen was looking like a teddy bear, but this looks more like a dog with a long hair. So we've got to push blocks a little bit. Collect these bones, or are they bones? It's hard to tell. But when we press down, we leave that, which allows us to get rid of anything that may be in our way. What do you say, Emo? What? Okay. I noticed they return, so I don't see the point of collecting those, but the red things will not return. Hopefully he'll go into that and he will get rid of him. No. So that only uses, that only works with things that move horizontally. Okay. So I presume that is for what reason? To get onto the next platform? Oh right, so I couldn't walk through the bottom bit, but I can definitely walk through the top. Okay, I'll get that. Yeah, that looks like there's a bit of a barrier there. Ah, what killed me then? So it did. So, animation of the giant mouse looks pretty good, doesn't it, to be fair? However, I didn't pay attention to what I was doing there, and that'll do. All I've got to do is be a bit more... Oh, dear me, how about that? Collision control, the drip was still disappearing, and because it was disappearing I walked into that slightly disappearing drip, so you've really got to wait till every ounce of water has disappeared before you can move. There we go. Well, before we move into the next screen, it looks all pretty much the same old level at the moment. Yeah, you've only got to touch them by the minutest bit and you lose your life, which is going to make timing a little bit difficult. So So it's a very tough game already to play. Game over screen already. Shall we see if we can get a little bit further than that? Okay, we got a little bit further. I've just knocked the screen, the cameras. I've done that starting the film. And yeah, at the moment everything seems to be the same old, but this seems to be a little bit more deadly because I bet I've got a time. Don't know whether we should just jump or drop down on that. Drop down is the way forward, okay. And we've got a little elevator. What is probably best that I do is dispose of the first nasty I'm going to come across. There we go. And now we should be able to get on this elevator quite quickly. Oh, look at that. It sinks into the elevator a little bit. Oh, a disappearing block. So you can only use one of them at a time. You have to wait for the other one to disappear before you can move to the other one. Oh, I didn't like that way. Now I wonder if I've made a mistake there. No, I can move there. That's cool. Oh, we've got them drip things, so I don't mind that. However, I won't need to get anywhere near that drip. Once I see it hit the floor, maybe I can jump on top of the box, there we go, and go about it a slightly different way. And I can see we've got another lift, so we've got to get up there somehow. And a change of a sprite, it looks like a new sprite has just appeared. Now I've done that, I can't use that. So if I need that to go any further, I may be in trouble. So I'm hoping I won't do that. AY sound, it's not repetitive really. You kind of forget that it's actually happening. It just adds to the game, which is nice on this occasion. Oh, look, something's just fell down there. Aha, okay. So, did I lose a life? Yes. That must be a barrier that you have to open, or an object I need to collect in order to get further than that. So where will that object be? Well, that's half the fun of the game. Finding out what it is you need to find in order to complete it. At the moment, the game's okay as a platformer. It's got some interesting ideas. Looks like those giant rodents that are going up and down the screen. I presume they're rodents, they certainly don't look like birds. They've got ginormous ears, which is helping them to fly. Maybe that is what they're meant to be. That looks like a bit... The other sprite on there, apart from the mouse, the other sprite, which looks like a big fur ball, reminds me a little bit of a badge I've got. See if we can find that badge out for you. Notice any resemblance in that badge? Yeah, to the sprite itself? No? Notice any resemblance to the sprite itself? Yeah, the sprite hasn't got such a big nose. Okay, overall rating then. Not bad. Not bad at all really, because I'd give that a 7.5 out of 10. The screens all seem to be the same, however the graphical characters and the challengingness of the screen is very hard. The AY music is reasonable in length, loop, but it does seem to repeat itself fairly quickly, but it doesn't get on your nerves. You sort of take no notice of it, because you're having to concentrate that hard on the actual game itself. Yeah, I definitely want to give it a go. Should we move on to some Crash reviews next? Or should we listen to some more of this AY? Yeah, Crash reviews. Nice AY in the background here from a game called Paintball 2048. One I reviewed on an earlier show of mine. I thought it was a decent game, to be fair. I've got it playing from the Spectrum Plus 3. Initially it didn't work, but with a few attempts and a little bit of jiggery pokery, I managed to get that loaded so as we can enjoy the AY music in the background. Right, we're journeying back to December 1990, issue number 83 of Crash, of course. Interesting to know that Shadow of the Beast was a Crash smash in this with a 92% rating. That would have been from Gremlin Graphics, of course. Cassette would have cost you a whopping $12.99. Ouch. And the other version would have been for the 3D disc 3D disc, the disc version. Well, it isn't 3D if you're holding it, isn't it? Would have cost you £15.99. So expensive. Alexander, you haven't told me about this for a long time. What do you think?
But why so expensive?
Yeah, 1990 US gold of all people. This is a 78% overall rating, presentation 72%, graphics 74%, sound was 65%, really? Let me just check on that. Yeah, 65%. The addictive qualities was 75% and playability was 71%. Yeah, this was a review, but some of these reviews in this particular Crash magazine was the way they was visiting games from early years and just reposting the reviews that they gave them. It was quite a good Christmas magazine, to be fair, but not by far their best Crash magazine. But definitely one for collectors to keep. There's a few games I've already reviewed in this particular magazine on previous shows. For instance, there was another Magic Land Dizzy. Do you know what they got in a rating? Let me have a look for you. Oh, yeah, indeed it was a Crash Smash. I haven't reviewed that. I tend not to review Crash Smashes, but if you'd like me to re-review Crash Smashes, I'll be more than happy to do so. So, this game would have cost you £2.99 or £10.99. What? Sorry, yeah. Would have cost you £10.99, not £2.99. Still expensive. We're not going to use Alexander Earl's Strong again, trying to be Sir Clark Sinclair. Has a good likeness about it. We're going to check this game out. And hopefully, when we do, we're going to have a look at the loading screen. We're going to use a 128k version. I don't know if this has got a 128k sound. Nothing to write home about in the loading screen there. Oh, but we can redefine the keys. So what we'll do is we'll redefine the keys. I'm going to use keyboard for a change. We've just doubted the AY tune for a minute, because if there's any sound in this, I want to hear it first without any interruptions, and we can press fire to play. Well, starting, it looks pretty graphically beautiful at the bottom, doesn't it? Let's just enlarge that speed. Oh, and I've just been attacked because I was standing still. So, if you're moving, there's two rates of fire. You can fire your gun, or you can, yeah. Standing up, you fire your gun. Down, you do that. Finally, I've got rid of that guy there. So, that guy, whatever it was on the floor, I think it was like a giant hand, isn't it? And I'm taking hits all over the shop here. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Is that something you got to destroy? Well, it's opening, so yeah. And I'm taking blows all over the shop. So this is not a good way to start a game where you're getting hammered. Obviously, there's no attempt there to hide colour clash. You just literally disappear, don't you? There, behind the thing. Does that look like something you can climb up? You'd think so, wouldn't you? Yeah. You've got a decent sized jump, but can you jump on the branches? No, but there's an element to this game that, look, you virtually disappear. So perhaps this game needs a bit of AY tune. And one of my favourite AY tunes at the moment. Hardy meets the Space Monsters. Listen to this photo. Hopefully this will be the intentionist that we need. Oh, I'm trying to duck and I'm not actually ducking. I'm actually jumping when I'm supposed to be ducking, that's it. There's no avoiding them, right? Absolutely no avoiding them. Right, we've got a lift, so I presume, before we go up this lift, let's have a look at this way. There's nothing really other than a dead end, so I'm trying to find out where the hell factor is. Even when I jump to strike them, I'm losing a life. So I'm a little bit unimpressed with that. Graphically scrolling, looks like I've just received a bit of love. Ah, that time I didn't. That time I survived. No, I'm flashing, so you've literally got to be standing dead still in order to survive an attack from them. Yep. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible mechanic. There we go. You've got to be standing dead still, and you only get a few seconds to react. You don't even get a few seconds. Right, I'm on the lift, and I fell off the lift again, so we're going to go back on there. Now, incidentally, yep, you get a change of things attacking you, we'll destroy those, because that's what you got to do. Probably got to go around the ship destroying those, or wherever you're meant to be based. And I'm just seeing nothing happen other than the screen repeating. I've collected something, that's good. I have to say though, graphically, it's not bad, is it? Oh look, I can travel the same. Look, must be a fast runner because you can travel the same rate to the bullet. Look. Oh, that was well done, Wayne. I'm praising myself. Yeah, sometimes when you're standing, if you're pressing fire, you can't duck down, so you have to let go of fire in order to duck down, which is a bit of a shame, that. And they just come in at random. There's no real rhyme or reason to them, to be fair. So how do I get up there? Do I jump? Must have to jump somehow. Or do I have to wait for the one level to come at it? So I'm going to wait for that to come down in order for me to get on it now. Okay. Wow, this is difficult. This is difficult. See, I could jump there, but I couldn't jump just. Oh, glitchy. What chance have you got? The game mechanic is slowly broken. Definitely broken. What chance have you got? If when you need to jump, you can't. Now we're on to the next level, okay, and I've probably died there. Am I going to start right down at the bottom? Yes, indeed I am. Which is really, really annoying. It's a shame because the game looks great, but it plays like a complete pig. So I can understand why it didn't get that. Ah, that's why I couldn't jump. I was actually flashing. And you can't jump on the lift, so you've got to jump off the lift. You can't jump while you're flashing. When you've got to wait till you stop flashing in order to be able to jump further. That's it, I've got up there finally. Oh look, I'm running the same weight as the bullet. If it played a little bit better, this would have been a smash, no doubt about it. But it doesn't play great. It's a bit of a pig to control because you can't duck while you're pressing fire. You can't fire bullets while you're ducked. So, and you get seconds to react. And if they fired a bullet at you, you can duck out the way of the bullet. Okay, I'll give you that one. But can you duck out the way of every bullet? No. So while you're waiting to jump on a lift, you've got to wait literally an awful long time. Okay, let's walk on the lift now, hopefully. That's it, we got there. So let's destroy that. And we got something there, something to collect. Was it the shame that said these are good? Oh. Have I been this way? I believe that I have. Was there anything for me to collect here? I see, just keep walking with my finger on fire. Maybe I'll do better that way. I don't know if you can hear me, but there are sound effects there, but they're very quiet indeed. Oh look. So now that I've done that, what else do we have to do? There's another one, yeah, so we just got to keep going. I can see there was an E there to collect somewhere, so, yeah, okay, that's fine enough. Ah, are those things deadly on the trees? Oh, too many seconds to react. Looks like we're moving to a newer part of the complex. But how do we get up there? That's cool. But how can you avoid that? If you're crawling up, that's going to cause any energy loss. How do you avoid that? Because you've got to walk in it to get up there. But it it looks like we've got to change it. Oh, somebody's firing rockets at me, or bombs of some sort. And how did I die? I have no idea. Anyway. Oh, you can actually jump on the trains, so the chains will help you. So I've turned into this sort of thing here. Nice bit of graphics going on here. And what it seems to be, it's like a helicopter of some sort. Anyway, we've managed to do it. Level 1 complete. Well, that surprised me because I didn't know what I was doing. Didn't collect everything though. I think we'll leave it there. Well, considering the rating it got 78%, so they gave it an 8 out of 10. Now, I don't agree. You can probably tell in my voice that I wasn't 100% convinced that the game was playing as well as it should. It had too many sticky moments where you couldn't move, you can't move, you couldn't jump right, you disappeared behind. Little issues like that could have been addressed and made better, but graphically it looks fantastic, doesn't it? I mean, there's definitely no problems with the graphics. Maybe a little, shall we say, where they sort of black out the sides of the characters just to keep it a bit more definition against the background. It has been done in other games. A bit more sound would have been nice, not just the sound of the shooting itself. Yeah, there was a bit of a glitch in the middle there where my recording stopped, so if it does jump from one scene to the next, I do apologise. That being said though, loading screen wasn't anything to write out about. There wasn't any AY tune, even though it's late on its life. There was good AY sound effects, I'll give you that. Did I enjoy playing it? Once again, I'm undecided. I also make up my mind for these things. It looked the part, but it didn't play the part. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm sorry, but yeah, I've demoted it down from 78% to 6.5, which is quite a drop for me. Do love the concept. The actual story behind the game is pretty good. It will tell you if you go to that particular Crash magazine. It gives you a good backstory on it. I haven't, confessed, played the first one, so maybe I should go back and review the first one, and maybe I'll like the second one better. As always, please leave your comments in the comments below. Do you remember this game? Did you have it back in the day? Would you go and purchase it now, knowing what you know back then? Or, you know, I didn't ever see it for sale, to be fair, else I may have done, because I bet you, no doubt they would have put the Commodore 64 shots on the back, or some of the shots or whatever, and it sort of blags you into buying things like that. Moving on then. The second game I've chose for the Crash review today, Badlands. I'll tell you a little bit about the game. It's going to be a circuit racing game. It doesn't sound like that when you listen to the name Badlands, does it? The presentation was given 70, graphics was given 64, sound 71, playability 67, addictive quality 65. I'll dispute that a little bit. Overall rating was 68%. I can tell you it does have a wide tune. We'll have a brief look at the loading screen, and lately it's been really brief. That is it, no loading screen. But just listen to that amazing AY tune. Gets a little bit more bouncy than that. A little bit of information scrolling across the bottom. With emos heading the way, of course. But listen to how bass this becomes. I think this is really well done. Well, you're a car, you're a battle car, you've got a gun on top of and you can fire at your opponents. It's got a clever little trick of waiting for opponents to play. The keys are QAOP and space is fire. So if you're a rubber keyboard person, you need to break your thumb, and if you're not and you've got the plus, then you're fine because the keys are in the perfect orientation. That's a long sequence of an AY tune, isn't it? Right, you have to do 3 laps. In fact, it's one of the longest AY tunes for sequence I've heard. I know that you had a long sequence with Alfredo Saint Monte, but I think this one is just fractionally longer. I'm not 100% sure. It's slowly building up. Slowly building up. Gotta let it play for a little bit more. Even when you think it's fading out. Is this where the loop starts again? No, there's something different. Maybe it is. Anyway, enough of that. Let's play the game. And it'll do this little sequence where it says published by Denmark. I did forget to tell you that. It would have cost you, well, let's be honest, it would have cost you £9.99. Another AY tune, another well done AY tune. Listen to how bouncy that is. And yet another long loop of a tune. Yep, £9.99 cassette or £14.99 on disc. And a 68% overall rating. But then when you actually come to playing the game, it doesn't live up to the AY tunes, but it's not a bad game. But that is some great tunes in the background, isn't it? Some great tunes in the background. Let's give it a go then. Let's give it a play. Yeah, waiting for other players to commence the city. Each circuit's got a name to it. And on this blue car here, yeah, I can fire at them. At the moment, they're both ahead of me. It's fairly easy to control, although you can get lost slightly. As you can see, I've just zoomed ahead. I've managed to get the first lap out of the way. Controls are reasonably easy, to be fair. You know, you just basically keep your foot on and accelerate. I may have picked up something there. I don't know what that cross means. Is it sort of like a missile, maybe? So next time I run into them, if I actually catch them and shoot one of them, you will see a helicopter come across and replace them. And that means that little signal there says I'm on my final lap. But the problem is they are too, so we better get a mover on. And that's it, I finished and completed the 3 laps and I've beat them all pretty convincingly. There's your rostrum, first, second and third place. You have to wait for the for them to finish, and then you move on to adding things if you want. And the art refinery, this is like just a figure of 8 construction, isn't it? But if you do really well on here, try not to crash into the walls, they will catch up with you fairly quickly indeed. Whoops, so daisy, I've crashed into the same wall I did before. It's a top-down racer, isn't it? It's really quite colourful, to be fair. It's it does remind me of like a simulator game you get from Codemasters, is it? Where they put the words simulation on everything. I'm on to my final lap. However, I may get a chance to actually shoot one of them. No, not this time. Yeah, there you go. Look, there's your fire weapon. Well, we'll just cross the line because each circuit has quite a variation of different circuits on this particular game. And the volcano, this one can be a bit tricky because your car actually disappears slightly. So once you get that cross, there you go. I managed to destroy one of them, and that's the reason why I got the helicopter. This is where your car disappears as it goes under the bridge. what that barrier is opening and closing, I don't know, because it doesn't seem to stop you anything, of course. The cars do tend to get stuck here, so you tend to have a good chance of beating them. They get stuck on that like rock there, and then when they do, you know, so the barrier actually worked on that occasion, and because of that I've lost a place, so you have to be mindful about that. But I just shoot him and he gets replaced. Yes, I know it's cheating, but it's battle cars, isn't it? It's a little bit like battle cars actually. There we go. How many laps am I up to?
I probably won't be able to give you the correct answer right away.
Well, thank you for that, Emo. That's very kind of you to tell me. Not that I asked you any questions at all, but still. You are the dumbest AI. I enjoy actually destroying the cars with my fire button. Yeah, the sound effects aren't too bad. They're a bit weird, if you know what I mean, for the game. Once again, another screen complete. So what do I think of that game? We're going to have a look at a Commodore game next, of course. 68%. I actually enjoyed playing it. There are plenty you can do when you can select your speeds, etc., and build up your pace, your car. The variation of the different, for instance, this is a desert. It's really quite good. Interesting pattern to race though. You see, you've got two bridges you go under now. Sometimes you can get confused with that. Generally speaking, I think 7.5 out of 10 is a fair rating. Hopefully this was a bit of a blast of nostalgia. There's the two from the Crash magazine in 1990, 83, December. That would have been their Christmas special, and it wasn't a bad magazine at that. So, let's have a look at something I found that I've really enjoyed playing recently for the Commodore. A Commodore. That's right, we're looking at a Commodore game. This one, with a killer SID sound, listen to the music, was off the Power Tape. Power Tape number 17. A free game. And I discovered it, and I thought, we'll give this one a play the game. A Commodore game that's a play the game. Here you can see. Admittedly, I wasn't a big fan of the Commodore growing up. However, I have warmed to it in later years. In fact, I love both systems, and discovering games that came out on that platform which didn't actually come out for the Spectrum game is always quite interesting. Now, it tells you a little bit about what you can collect and swap, etc., and blind. You press fire to start, so it's instantly port one of your joystick. But the music to start the game is absolutely fantastic. In the game, you don't have the music, but you have plenty of sound effects. So we're going to give this a play and give it a rating. And this was basically just like the Crash cover tapes on the front of a magazine as a Power Tape. There were 4 great games. Well, there was 3 games on there in total. We'll go through more of those on a later episode of Retro Robbins. But I wanted to give this a go because I'm discovering games for the Commodore for the first time and thought I'm going to share you my experience. And this is one of them. So we'll press fire. Get ready. Okay, I'm ready. I'm using the sound of Bionic Commando in the background there just to give a little bit more atmosphere. Otherwise you just got sound effects. Right, you can see you've got a timer that is running down, and you've also got a limited amount of bullets. But the graphics of this game are absolutely fantastic. Let me just pan the camera across a little bit. There we go. Those were nicely centerised. I'm about to collect the first money. As you saw, I also lost some energy. So to swap, well, you must have to press an F key or something. So we don't want to do that just yet. I just want to have a look around the actual maze itself. And now, okay, so what I've got to do is to get that money there after. Well, I'm running out of bullets rapidly. Shall I just lose a bit of energy? No. think the graphics on this game are really amazing. I love the sound effect. Yeah, it's not easy when you haven't played it before, obviously, but I think nearly everything you can see can be shot in some form or another. The map is... Oh, I've got some money at last. The map is quite huge. There's 100 there, isn't there? Oh, I want that. If I can get down to there. Oh, I've lost my life already. That could be potentially game over. Great death sequence, isn't it? Great death sequence. Let's give it another game. Another go. Indeed we shall. Let's go a different route this time. I like his little visor that comes down. Now, in order for me to get up there, I've got to go that way, haven't I? So, oh, I noticed you can't shoot through the up, okay. Oh, I lost a bit of energy there. I lost a bit of energy there as well. It's timing, isn't it? I'm running out of bullets. I don't really want to waste this many bullets. Oh, I don't want to waste that much energy either. Wow, I think this game's quite... I know you've got a wider screen on the Spectrum, but I think the absolute graphics on it, the timer running down as well, gives some sort of pressure, so I've got to get towards some sort of end goal. A variation of... Could be the same sprites, but the pattern of them changes slightly. I like the way he drops his gun as well, doesn't he? Look at that, when he's not doing anything. Ah! Couldn't drop into that. Could not drop into that. Should we give that one more go? I'm enjoying it. I'm absolutely enjoying it. It's really, really, really good. For a Commodore game, it's almost fine detail in its graphics. The SID sound is absolutely amazing. I don't know how well that'll come across on this particular camera. Let me just draw it down a touch. There we go, I'm just going to go out of shot. Cybernoid Warrior for the Commodore 64. And just with that brief play there, John Rowlands and Stephen Rowlands, I believe I caught a couple of names there. I think it is a fantastic looking game. It's a fantastic play. I'm certainly going to be going back to play that even more. And if you've got a Commodore and you've not played this before, I highly recommend it, because I've spent... Believe it or not, you wouldn't think it the way I just died quite quickly in that. I've spent a few hours on this and I've really got into the game and really started to enjoy it. Unfortunately, when you come to record, your concentration's a little bit divided, so you're unable to focus on the one particular thing. And yeah, so if you're a Commodore fan and you're a Commodore owner, have you played this game before? I'd be eager to listen to what you've got to say about it. So, as always, with Retro Robins, make sure you leave your comments in the comment below so I can have a reply to them and see your thoughts in detail. So, on that bombshell, let's run the ending titles. It's time to end today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. It's me, Wayne Retro Robins. If you haven't already and you've joined me for this long, why not subscribe and hit that notification button if you wish to do so. If not, you can watch it any old time you want. Just subscribe, it'd be great for me. A few thank yous as always to Richard Hollins, to Lee Chop Stevens, to Matthew Logue, who does a lot of the AY tune, Pablo, a fantastic person, and everybody who's provided any covers for the Crash cover tapes for me to get the first 3 out. Not quite the tapes I wanted, but they're a beginning of something potentially bigger. There will be more cover tapes to come, and I'll be rolling them out in the New Year's. In the New Year? New Year's? Well, I'm ahead of myself there. Oh, look, Emo's busting the moves. Coming up on the future Retro Robin show, we will have guests on the phone, and we will have more Commodore vs Spectrum. That will be coming up in following episodes. In the meantime, going to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, a prosperous and a Happy New Year, depending on when you watch this. As always, have a nice working week or weekend. Love a bit of 8-bit? You're going to love a bit of this show. What do you say, Emo? Oh, ho, ho. Oh, he's too busy dancing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. So it's bye from me, and bye from that demon of a robot there.